we're off and running. Second day of tryouts today.
Second day of school, second day of tryouts.
Second day of tryouts, second day of school. We're all just getting going.
So do the guys from last year's team have to make the team again? Do they have to try out with everybody? Or are you like, I have X spots for the rest of you?
So the players who are coming back don't have to come to the first day of tryouts to get a bye. But other than our return missionaries, so if you made the team before you left, when you get home, we give you some time to get back in shape. But everybody else has to still prove themselves. So there is a chance that players who played last year could get cut. But they're all quality players, so it's going to be hard for anybody to beat them out. So.
And there's no scholarships. These guys pay for them their own way and everything.
Right,
so they're all hungry to be there if they show up, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They're excited. This is our first summer off in 15 years, and so the guys haven't ever gone a summer without playing, and so they're all just itching to get back and playing really bad.
The head coach of BYU men's soccer, Brandon Gilliam, with us. Let's look ahead to the season. When do the real games start and the fun? When does it really get fun?
So this Saturday we'll play a blue-white game. We'll use that as our last tryout. So we'll be down to about 30 players. We'll play a blue-white game, and then we'll cut that down to 24. And so that'll be our first game at 2 o'clock on Saturday. But then we kick off our season following week on Friday at home against the U as our first.
Oh,
yes.
Very nice.
Game. So yeah,
very nice. So September 14th, Southfield, BYU in Utah.
7 o'clock, and then we play Weber the next night.
The next night.
Yeah.
You go back to back. Okay, I like that. Extramurals are being run just a little bit differently than perhaps a couple years ago. So what is this the number one way you find players? The tryout?
I mean, we run summer camps, and we've been doing that forever, and they sell out, and they're massive, and 60% of the kids that come to those are out-of-state kids.
Oh, wow.
And so that's, I mean, we don't recruit, but that's where we find talent who want to be here. And then once kids get into school and get accepted, then we can have that conversation of where they're at, and they come out to tryouts, and some of them are a little bit higher on our list than others.
And these players are good enough to win the club national title, which is pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
You guys did it last year in year one back in the club.
Right. So the talent that comes here because they want to be around the BYU atmosphere, right? I mean, a lot of kids who are at tryouts right now could probably be on a scholarship playing D2, but they're here because they want to be, and they want the education and the atmosphere. And so we don't have any trouble. I mean, today was a harder day cutting it down because there was quality players who, if we weren't so deep in certain positions, could be still with us. So it's fun.
When you look at the preseason and comparing your club this year to what you're going to see in the best club teams across the country, where does BYU stack up right now? Are you the clear number one? What do you think, top 5? Where would you put BYU?
I mean, I would never say that we're clear just because I don't know everything that's out there, right? And I think in this world that we're in, teams don't look the same from year to year. And so you don't know exactly what you're going to get. I mean, we played the final against Cal Poly last year. And Cal Poly was a fantastic team. It's the best game I've ever seen us play. So the scoreline for them didn't show it. I mean, we won it 4-1, but I've never seen our players play better than that game. But Cal Poly was a really good team. Now, they could have better players come in this year, or they could lose some key players, right? And so we don't know where they'll sit from year to year. But there's going to be some talent, and there's going to be definitely a lot of teams who want to showcase themselves. So every team that we play against are going to play like it's their national championship because we won it last year.
So if you won by 3, is the goal to win by 4 this year?
So yeah. So we went 18. We won 18 straight after our first tie, right? And so let's see if we can get rid of that tie.
Okay.
So you were unbeaten.
Okay.
You want to win all of them.
Yeah.
That's the weird nuance of soccer. It's like, oh, they're unbeaten. It's like, well,
Doesn't
that's a
happen too
tie.
often.
Yeah.
Right?
That's pretty gnarly.
That's quite the
So,
standard.
I mean,
well, we
we're
won
gonna have
18
to-
in a row, but we'd really like to never tie anybody. So
Yeah, tying.
You have to
is
keep
awful.
pushing it each year, right? You can't get complacent. Just because we won it last year doesn't mean we're going to be able to walk through it. So we have to push it every game and make sure we're performing every game.
Obviously, it'd be awesome if the men's soccer team was an NCAA sanctioned team. That's not the case at the moment. And then the PDL, the Premier Development League, was like, it was pretty hard. There were a
was
couple
very
years where it was
hard.
really good when you played,
Yeah.
right? And your brother, Morgan. Is there no middle ground
Right
that's
now,
possible?
there's not.
Right?
There's just nowhere for us to be, right? I mean, if we're not a sanctioned program, then where do we sit? This is the only league that has other college programs in it. The PDL had no college programs, and so that's the reason we left, was because it wasn't a college atmosphere. Right, we're playing teams like Fresno Fuego, who nobody's ever heard of, and we're playing in the middle of summer when
you have this
20,000 students are gone.
36-year-old amazing Mexican midfielder that shows up, and you're like,
Right.
this is just an
he's played
interesting
professional
situation.
his whole life.
Right.
And now this is the
Yeah.
end of his career rather
Yeah.
than the beginning for all of our players.
Like, this guy's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's just no spot right now. I mean, who knows what the future holds as far as like U.S. soccer. U.S. soccer, we struggled. We didn't make the World Cup. So there is kind of a notion that maybe there's some reshuffling in the world, and maybe U.S. soccer eventually steps in and has a say in college and high school, which they don't right now.
Right.
So
And it's a much bigger conversation that we perhaps don't have time for right now.
massive.
But the fact that NCAA men's soccer is a thing hurts U.S. soccer. Like
It can, right,
It can,
because-
right? In a way. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, you want to take these kids and play, but if they're really good, they should be going in academies, right?
Right, that's the rest of the
Overseas
world,
or
right? At
here.
16,
Yeah.
if you're going to go professional, at 16, you have a contract, whether it's with the first team, second team, it doesn't matter, but you have a contract, you don't go to school.
Yeah, you don't play for Harriman High.
No.
You go to the academy or whatever, right? Yeah.
Brendan, great stuff. And again, I know we love hypotheticals. If BYU were an NCAA sanctioned team, then I'm going to go ahead and just make you the West Coast Conference preseason favorite. Is that cool?
That's great.
There's some good teams in the league, too.
There are awesome teams.
Yeah,
No, it'd be a
it's good
fantastic league.
It's a good league, yeah.
All right, some fodder for
You're
another
trying to
day.
ruffle some
Yeah.
feathers
Some
over in a
fodder
certain
for
building?
another day. Brandon, great stuff. Good luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks. And BYU in Utah next Saturday,
The 14th.
September 14th.
Let's
And we'll
do it.
have
Or
tomorrow.
Friday, next Friday. Sorry.
Tomorrow we do a one-day season pass sale,
Hmm.
and so it's $10 tomorrow only. So for one day, all our season passes you can get them for $10. So just check
Beautiful.
our website for that.
Okay.
The Utah
BYUsoccer.com.
game alone is worth the $10.
There you go.
Yes, it is.